Hey, what's going on everyone? Mike here, and this is episode 8 of our Q&A. I want to thank everyone that's been participating. I do appreciate it. Please continue to leave your questions in the comment section below, and make sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter if you haven't. Thank you. I do have an idea I want to talk about before I get started. I get a lot of questions about how to get connected with good wholesalers, how to get your vendor's license, how to deal with these sort of things. And I realize that I can't give enough advice to everyone because there's so many wholesalers and so many routes you can go that I can't possibly do that. But I had an idea that would possibly help everyone as a whole and get everyone's wholesale prices down while connecting everyone to wholesalers without vendor's license. So I'm going to talk more about that in a different video. Please make sure you stay tuned for the video because I'm going to explain it in a very detailed manner, and I want to get everyone's opinion on it. Honestly, if I do it, it'll be a big move in a different direction business-wise. It'll take a lot of my time, but it could potentially be beneficial to everyone. So when I make the video, please make sure you check it out and give me your opinion. I don't want you just to watch it. I need to know exactly what you think about the situation and if it's a good or bad idea. I'm going to try and put that video up in the next day or two, and then later this week will be the video behind the scenes. So it should be 3 videos this week. Please make sure you watch the one I'm talking about and put your opinions in the comments so I know exactly if I should move forward with it or not. Tech asks, how do you go about getting attention to your products? I have over 100 listed and they don't seem to be getting any views. Do you do anything extra to promote your item? Hey Tech, I get asked this kind of thing a lot as well. I do not promote my items as in spam them on social media or pay for ads. I just list them on eBay with a very good title, offer free shipping and 1-day handling so I get the fast and free bump on the rankings. And also I'm a top rated seller so I get another bump on the rankings. Besides those things, I simply put things on sale a lot and try to push old inventory. Not all of my listings get a great amount of views. There's plenty of listings I have that don't get a lot of views that I have to tweak. I did notice something. If your product doesn't get a lot of views, go into it and edit it and fill out the item specifics. I noticed that when I started filling out item specifics on items, compared to ones I didn't, the ones with the specifics sold a lot more. I think it boosts the rankings if people throw in keywords that are in your specifics, so definitely do that. Cardinal asks, when you get more items to sell, do you only do wholesale and eBay lots or do you have other sources as well? Cardinal, I have quite a few sources. They include local people, Craigslist, eBay lots, wholesalers, people that trade in games, my family members and friends. Those are all places for things for me to sell. I want to start getting into retail arbitrage a little more, which is where you go to stores, buy products that are way marked down after the holidays and resell them online. And also, I've heard estate sales can be really good for getting some expensive items very cheap. That might be something I'll look into, although it's kind of a generation gap. Most of the people that go to estate sales are a lot older, and I might try that out. I'm not sure. I don't know much about that. But as far as sourcing goes, I have no real consistency in my sourcing pattern except for the wholesalers. Besides those, I tend to just go all over the place and find good deals where I can. And with that being said, I think that is really the competitive advantage if you're a small business. Large businesses can't really do that. They can't go to stores and pick up sales. They can't, talk to the locals. They can't get their family to support them because they're so large it won't maintain. When you're a small business, you have the opportunity to do that, which is actually a giant competitive advantage online. Digivation asks, do people buy on your e-commerce site or eBay more? How do you connect it to eBay? And how do you let people know? Is it allowed to be mentioned in the eBay description? That's a great question. So the answer is not many sales on an e-commerce site at all. I'm lucky if there's a few $100s a month on there. The point is to slowly draw the crowd from eBay to my website. I have all their email addresses and I contact many of my customers quite often to see how they're doing and that kind of thing. So my customers are pretty loyal. You are not allowed to advertise your website on eBay whatsoever, but with each order I send business cards that have my website. I contact customers and let them know. I might email them. I send out promotional ads sometimes. That's really how I drive them to the site. The whole goal with the site isn't necessarily to bring all my sales to the e-commerce site, although it would help on a margin standpoint. It's really just to have a home base so you can create a brand and push people to that brand. And I think that's the whole idea behind it. It has less to do with bringing everyone over and a lot more to do with creating a home base. So if someone, you see on the street asks you about something you're selling, you say, hey, go here. You don't have to say go to eBay and search for my username, that kind of thing. Also, eBay's margins always go down and then they end up rising from a fee structure standpoint because they'll push the sellers to the limit and then sellers will complain, they'll go back down, they'll go back up. So for me, it's more of a stability thing. I think over time, eBay's marketplace is going to change a lot. They're really making a shift towards selling newer, nicer merchandise and a lot less of the old like one-of-a-kind garage sale finds. They've even said publicly that they're really just trying to shift away from the online garage sale persona and turn into a marketplace. So that really kind of pushes a lot of the sellers who sell antiques and stuff out of the market, and that creates a huge gap. So I don't know what the future of eBay holds, but they've made many questionable decisions in the past, and I just want to be prepared in case something happens. TBD asks, do you ever sell secondhand items or personal items you had? Say like if you're tidying stuff around your house and you specialize in games, would you sell unrelated items that aren't games, or do you stick to games even if you got other things to get rid of? So as with everybody on eBay, I sell video games is what I specialize in. I sell all kinds of other stuff. Sometimes I sell personal things. Sometimes I sell stuff for friends. That's the great thing about eBay, is it really has always been this place where you can sell anything because it is like an online garage sale. But like I was saying in the last question, they're really trying to push away from that persona. For now, I do sell extra things I have on there, and I will sell things that aren't related to video games because my eBay store doesn't bring in a lot of traffic. The only reason I'm subscribed to the eBay store is to save on fees. That has nothing to do with the actual store. So when people search on eBay, they look for individual listings. They hardly ever go into your store and buy things from it. That's not what they're looking for. They search in the eBay search bar. If it shows up high in the rankings, they buy it. It's pretty straightforward. So for me, I sell tons of unrelated stuff, and it's a great way to make money. I look for unrelated stuff all the time at the stores or wherever I'm at. My grandparents' house, if they're trying to get rid of stuff, or my garage, or wherever it may be, I sell all kinds of unrelated things. This week, actually, I sold tons of my personal stuff because I had bills to pay, and one of my wholesale orders came in really late, which didn't allow me to sell enough of it to make the money I needed to pay my bills. It put me in a tight spot, but I had stuff I can get rid of, and I actually pulled a profit on most of it, which made me really happy. So that's life, and I took a risk, and it didn't pay off, but I'll make money on the next one, so I'm not too concerned about it. Alright everyone, I want to thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate all the support. As I said, questions in the comments below. Follow me on social media if you haven't, and prepare for the next video. Please watch it. I really ask you, beg of you, watch it. Give me your long explanations of if you think it's a good or bad idea. I need to know so I can move forward with it or not. It'll take a lot of work on my part, but I think it'll pay off for everyone. So it has to do with creating like a wholesale distribution center for everyone that we can all participate in, and I would run it, and I'll explain more about it later, and that way you don't have to buy from fake wholesalers, or you don't have to go out of your way to get a vendor's license. I already have it. I can look into great wholesalers to supply us all with things, and with that, as a group, we can get much better prices. So I'm going to talk more about that, a few other ideas I had in the next video coming, and then behind the scenes later this week. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Talk to you later.